do an Irish style bumble today. These are kind of popular in Ireland and any of the big lochs in Scotland. They're kind of promoted by a guy called Justice Kingsley Moore. He liked to use them because he said that they had plenty of life, and he liked the light to come through them and use different colours to create a sense of life in the fly. So Camasan B175, thread 8O in red. You can use a black if you want. So take your thread the usual manner, touch and turns to the bend of the hook. Now this is a kind of generic type fly, it's not a set pattern. I suppose it's a kind of golden olive bumble would be the right name for it, but it's a kind of my take on it. For the tag, I'm going to use red holographic. So I'll just tear a bit off, tie that on the side, take it round the bend. Bring the thread back up to the top. Now this is a wee bit slippery, so what I like to do is just put a wee bit of super glue, just a spot on there, just so it doesn't unravel and slide down the bend of the hook. Tiny spot. And then wind the tinsel over the wet glue, and that'll just help to hold it there. Okay, so I'm taking it up onto the body. Doesn't really matter, just to give you a bit more, because we'll cover that in a minute. Tie that in, cut away the waste. There's a lot going on in this fly, there's a lot of materials going on, so you need to watch your amounts of tons of thread, etc. that you're going to use. Now, tail, golden pheasant crest. I've seen them tied with tippets as well, so I don't know, whatever suits you, whatever you fancy. So take a crest feather, they're usually a bit twisted, so what I like to do is wet it, pull it into the shape that I want, tie that on the top of the hook, tie it long, starting from about in line with the barb. So tie that in long, cut all loose turns, and then you can pull the tail to where you want it. Okay, so I'm going to go for about there, tighten up, and then I'll take one turn underneath, which will help to set it, and then bind that down, heading up the hook. Cut away your waste. Now the next thing we're going to tie in is this blue jay. This creates a throat hackle, it's more than a throat, it's a kind of collar hackle at the front. And if you can't get blue jay, you can use blue dyed grizzle hackle, or you could use dyed guinea fowl, dyed blue. Okay, it's this feather here we're looking for. Comes off the side of the wing. Now what we're looking to do is pull these fibres out at 90 degrees, line up the tips, rip that off, and take these fibres and tie them forward of the eye. So you want it to be about at least the length of the body, maybe a tiny bit more. I'm going to tie them in there. Put a loose turn and kind of spread them out a wee bit. Okay, tie that in. And if you want, put a wee bit more on. I think this is quite a good key point to this fly. Quite an attractive colour, contrasts with the body colour. So don't be shy with this, put as much on this as you like. That's more or less a full feather that I've put on there. And then tidy up that area there. Cut away your waste. Now the body hackle, I'm going to use this colour here, it's a kind of golden olive. Now this is a piece of a saddle, a little good long genetic feather there, okay. So find a nice feather you like the colour of. You can see this sort of slightly different colours here. If you wanted a slightly darker fly, you could use a browner hackle, or even lighter, which is getting onto almost a yellow. So anyway, take your hackle, expose a wee bit of the hackle, and just tie that in. at the head. Sorry, take it forward. Don't tie it that way, tie it that way. So, forward of the eye. Okay, bind that down. Now as I'm coming back down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie in a bit of gold holographic tinsel. Now you could use plain gold, whatever you fancy. I like the holographic. So again, just catching a piece there, tie that in. Take your thread down, back to the bend. Okay. One more material again, you see, it's getting busy. Bit of gold wire, just fine gold, medium gold wire. Fine or medium, whatever suits you. Okay, tie that in there, just to hold that there. Now for the body, you get a range of these sort of mixes. Now this is by Frankie McPhillips, so he's the kind of guy that knows what he's talking about when it comes to Irish flies. So I'm going to use this one, the Golden Bumble. It's called an olive, but it's really quite orange. And if you look at it closely, there's different colours in there to make up a blend, and that helps to create, as I say, the light going through, create a different effect. So again, just twist that onto your thread, dub that onto your thread, nice and tight. Keep it nice and thin. Okay, you can build it up as you go up the body, but you don't want big lumps on your thread. Keep it nice and thin, okay? And then start building the body as you go forward, okay? Now you're looking to build a slight taper into this, so as you come up the body, we put a few extra turns, just to build up a slight taper in the body. Okay, so we need a wee bit more. Let's dub some more on, nice and tight. And you can see all these materials getting away a wee bit, but you just shove them at the rod. Keep going with your body. Okay, it's getting a bit loose. Give that a spin. Spin the bobbin a wee bit, it'll tighten that up. Okay, so just going forward, keep going forward, building up that slight taper. Right up to the back of the hackle fibres there. Okay, so a tiny bit more. Do that to there, okay. Happy with that. Now, what I'm going to do is bring my flat gold tinsel up through. And you're looking for 3, maybe 4 turns. Okay, you don't want too much because you want to be able to see that. Seals for mixed body. Tie that in. And then take your genetic hackle and you're going to cross wind that back down the body, okay? Back down to the bend. And then taking your gold wire, go the opposite way, back up the body, which will trap in that hackle. So just take that all the way back up to the eye, and then catch that in with a couple of turns. Okay, the end of your hackle, snip that away, you tie another couple of flies out of that. So, wire's tied in. Best thing to do with wire is helicopter it. Don't use your scissors, it just snaps away. Now, this is the fun bit. What you've got to do is get all this hackle, all this J fibres that you've got at the front, so spread them out a wee bit. And then just cloak them back. So it's almost shutting an umbrella. We're all sticking up at the front. And just keep working them back with your fingers, spreading them round until you're happy. And then just catch a few turns of thread at the front. Have a look. Okay, that's not bad. Just keep doing that. Just working these fibres backwards. Build up a wee head. Okay, that helps to keep these fibres in place. So, whip finish. Nice wee head, nice wee red colour. Tighten that up. Cut that away. Spot of varnish just to seal the ends of the thread there. Make sure it doesn't unravel. Just to seal all that. You could probably give that a couple of coats once the first coat's dry. And if you've got a wee scrap of feather or a wee scrap of hackle, good thing to do is if you shove that through, it cleans the varnish out the eye. Okay. Now you could attack that a wee bit. The seals for body with a bit of Velcro, just to create a bit more light getting out of the fly. Just comb all that back, and that there, it's a golden olive bumble. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that.